Spatial, this is why I always say you bad for business. Like, come on, Spatial. Why you gotta do this? What are you doing right now? Come on, come on, come on. Let me see if I can. Let me set this up here. How? You don't break my soul.
As I am, and I'm starting to get lonely. So at least I'm not lonely. I'm definitely not lonely anymore. I have a great community out here. I wouldn't have been able to be on the picket lines if I wasn't here in Los Angeles. So I don't. I think it's worth it, but I don't recommend that people move to Los Angeles until they either have a job or strong prospects of one. Because especially nowadays, even though the writers' rooms are mostly in person again, all of your meetings, your general meetings, or probably your staffing interviews, you get them, all your meetings with your managers, reps, all of that, you're going to be able to Zoom. So you can do that. You can get started from wherever you're at. But when it seems like, okay, I'm starting to get a lot more momentum as far as your career going, like maybe you had a couple of staffing interviews, or you finally have managers and they're sending you out a lot. That might be when you want to start. You know, move to LA. But everybody who's like, I gotta go there now, I'm never gonna start. They have the internet. And also,
Yeah.
fine, you're fine. You don't have to rush. So.
What's your experience like being a black woman in the writers' rooms?
Both of my writers' rooms are black shows, so fine. It was great. I don't have anything. I haven't had any really negative experiences as a black woman in either of my rooms. I wasn't the only black woman in either of my rooms, and everybody's black except for our showrunner. A queen. I think there was one with Tina. It was all white women and like one Latino woman. Everybody else was black. So I kind of have a skewed experience right now.
Okay.
I did have a fight with a white woman in one of my rooms. It wasn't like a big fight. She was saying ignorant shit. Just ignorant white shit. And then I like she was like a upper level writer. She was like a co-executive producer. And she was friends with my showrunner. And he wasn't in the room when it happened. And so I was like, oh shoot, he was there. I better be getting fired right now. And then he later that night he called me, and I was high. So I saw his name on my phone. I flew across the room and screamed. And then I texted the manager. I was like, I'm gonna get fired. And he's like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, why else would you call me? I texted he has to fire me. And then I didn't call him back. Well, I was high because I knew better than to do that. But I called him back the next day, and I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And he was like, yeah, I heard what happened in the room. And I started apologizing profusely. He was like, what? I wanted to check in with you and see how you're doing and hear your side of the story. And I told him, and he was like, oh, well, it sounds like she deserved everything said to her, and you're right. And you should tell her again if she says some shit like that. So I was like, you know, it's definitely a different experience having lots of black people in the room with you. I'm sure. I mean, I did have a experience which I didn't get hired for because the showrunner ended up being racist, and there was like it was really bad. There was like a whole higher discrimination investigation into it. So, like, yeah, I still have experience like that, but in both of the rooms that I was hired on, it was great. I didn't have any identity-based issues.
Okay. Yes. Good to hear. Good to hear you've been having a good experience. Because my industry experience has been very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm very lucky in that regard. But I'm sure I have other negative experiences in the industry that weren't in those rooms. I like have been sexually harassed a few times, and those kind of things. So it's definitely not all peaches and cream. But I will say I have a lot of friends who have been in all black writers' rooms, or minority black writers' rooms. And that was not the case even 5-10 years ago. That would happen so frequently. So there is definitely some shifting happening for the better, at least in terms of representation in the room.
I love that. Great questions. And oh, dang. Wow.
I'm gonna give you your show back, Mo.
Oh no, this is all of us. I appreciate you for asking your questions, because that was going to be one of my next put things right there, is just asking the audience if you guys definitely had any questions for Kyra. You've been doing amazing, Kyra. Thank you so much for all that you've shared so far, or just sharing your own journey. I believe so much that we can learn so much from each other. So just in the things of what you shared, the insight that you've provided as someone on the inside, providing it for us on the outside, it has definitely been insightful. And so while everybody else is either typing their questions in the chat or thinking of theirs before we wrap up this show, I have one last question for you, which would be if you have advice for new creators or producers like myself, because I am a meta producer, the Mocasso of NFTs. And if they don't know me yet, the industry is going to know me soon, because P2D Raw Network is coming with all our content as soon as we know how to put it out there and all that kind of stuff. But what kind of advice do you have us new creators that are coming into, these spaces, wanting to add to the creators like yourself, right? And be in support of you. And like you said, maybe you want to go and get a job once the strike is over, or do want to roll out some indie films. Because I also will say, I seen one of your comments. I think maybe it was on Instagram or something, where you were saying, everybody says, oh, just write for yourself, and but you want to actually be able to pay people too. And there's a lot that comes with being an independent creator as well, which seems like the easiest solution and the easiest thing to say you should just do in these times. But for those that are trying to do it, what kind of advice would you provide for us?
Yeah, so the production route is not easy by any means whatsoever. It's kind of a picture point. Like, what kind of harm did you want? And I feel like most people are kind of looking to do a mix of both, which is what I do as well. But I mean, my advice, regardless of whether you want to do Hollywood or indie film or both, is it is a marathon, not a sprint. It's going to take a long time to get where you want to be. So do not judge yourself if it takes you it's going to take probably a few years. But I think there was a study done recently that it takes an average of 7 years for someone to be able to break into the entertainment industry. So I have friends who've really trying to break in like 3 or so years. They're like, oh my god, I'm so discouraged, I'm failing. I'm like you have at least 4 more years before you might see the movement. So just be prepared for that, and don't get discouraged. So that's my first piece of advice. And then also on the indie production side, and it takes a lot of time to raise money. It takes a lot of time to build those connections with other actors and filmmakers that will give you the team that's perfect for whatever you're looking to make. It takes a long time once it's done to figure out what tone or distribution you want. It's going to get it's not a get rich quick scheme by any means. I remember I had friends, or I guess an actor that I worked with. I don't know people well, but an actor that I worked with, he reached out to me and he was like, I mean, I like really great for money, and I just wrote my first screenplay, and like I was wondering how I could sell it so I could make some money. And I was like, I mean, that's not how it works. It's not like selling your old clothes to Goodwill when you need some extra cash. It's very, very hard to sell screenplay. And chances are, if it's your first screenplay, it's probably not in and you haven't advanced enough in your writing journey to be ready to sell dream yet. So yeah, that's enough friends. I think always continue working on your craft. You're always a student, whether or not you're in classes. Like I've only taken a couple of writing classes in my whole life, but I watch a lot of television and film. I read a lot of screenplays. I meet with other writers and talk about their process. I use their script. I share my script. I get notes. I think that one mistake at the time, I hear from a lot of writers who break in, they're just like, well, I haven't gotten my shot yet. My scripts are there. They're great. I don't understand, like, why I'm not in there yet. And I'm like, you know what? Honestly, a lot of the times when I have somebody asking me, like, what can I be doing to break in more, or what can I be doing to break in faster, and they send me their script, 9 times out of 10 it's their script. That are keeping them from being able to get where they want to be. So never take that you are, never take that is good enough. And it might, one individual script might be good enough, and maybe that particular script is not the story that is gonna wow folks. Maybe you need to work on another one. It's just, always be willing to learn more and accept that you have room to grow. I guess, okay, look for me. Oh, and then networking, that's a growth term. I don't even want to use that term, but networking is really important. I'm going to just say making friends. You gotta make genuine connections with other folks who are in the industry, and not necessarily people who you think can give you like have higher power and give you knowledge. I think a lot of people think of networking like I gotta find the most important person in the room, or I be sliding into Easter Raid DM trying to get a job from the most famous and only person I can find. But I think it is more advantageous for you to be looking at for folks who are at your level, or maybe just 1 or 2 steps above where you want to be. So it's like you're looking to get an assistant job in a writing room, talking to other folks who are experts, also looking for assistant jobs, so that y'all can connect one another, or talking to people who are assistants right now, rather than trying to talk to showrunners. Because you never know where that person who you had coffee with, or that person who you were PA on that set with, is going to end up next year. They might be an assistant on the show that you would love to get staffed on. They might be able to put your name into the room and give you that showrunner your script. And if you have a genuine friendship with them and they are rooting for you, then that's going to get your name in more rooms than anything else. And the WGA did a survey a couple years back where they asked writers how they got their last job, and 50% of them did not get their job from their reps. They got it through a referral. So somebody they worked with before, or somebody that they have a relationship with who put their name in that room. So it's actually very, very essential that you be making these relationships. So not in like a growth force way, like oh, I really like this person, or I like this person's work, I'd like to get to know them better. Not just to see what they can give you, but because like you need support in this industry, you need community, and that's important. And there's secondary that maybe industry does.
That's it. Wow, that was really great advice, and I love how you said that time. Be patient with yourself. That's as soon as you said that, I'm like, that's exactly what I said earlier. That's one of those things where, like you said, take the time to learn, grow, and perfect your craft, because that is what it is. Like I mentioned Latisse earlier, who not only brought you into the space, or even Science, who brought his own gifts into the space, but here in our own production, we are a powerhouse team where, everybody is pouring into here. And Latisse was one of the first people that say, hey, I love this story and this concept that we have going on, and I would love to join and help write it. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, because that's what it's missing. Like it needs to be a better story, right? I haven't written a script and since I don't know, probably high school, you know, and I just did that on some leisurely fun because I enjoy writing, which has evolved to what I'm doing now, to, you know, put it as an outlet, and now I'm trying to perfect this craft. But I do think sometimes, you know, we get in our mind like after that we should be able to put it out there and it be out there as we're anticipating, and it doesn't always look like that. Even after we did our pilot, that was one of the first things Latif said, which was, hey, let's even slow down trying to roll out that next episode and really focus in on writing all of our scripts, writing out the story, and making sure we have that good story, and then, you know, financing it. And, you know, we're trying to develop a game with our story and like this really immersive situation that people haven't seen before, and that's going to take time to even develop in itself. So thank you so much for sharing all of those gems. I really have received all of those. I hope all of our viewers watching on Twitter, I see y'all, and on YouTube, I see y'all. I hope you all haven't been enjoying it. I did also see Latif drop a few things in the chat saying that she got so many of her PA jobs from other PAs. I also see Science said he loves how networking and connecting has changed so much these past years, and I totally agree. You know, especially being able to be speaking, like I said, with all of you. You know, I think we're all on probably in different states, different time zones, yet here together having these kind of conversations that I love putting out there, you know, and packaging together to not only again show where we are in history, but also put it out there for other creators looking for this content to understand what's happening and what they can be doing right now, which is always educating and actually going and applying these lessons that we are learning. So with that, did anybody else have any last questions before we wrap up today? I would love to open the floor for anyone else. If anybody else had any questions for Kyra or anything they'd like to share. Nope. Awesome. Well, Miss Kyra, thank you again for being here. Thank you again for jumping into the metaverse. I was a little nervous because I'm like, I don't know if there are like anti-metaverse. So when Latif said that you were willing to be a part, it really meant a lot to me. So I do thank you for getting your avatar all cute, coming here today and sharing your journey with us. I'm excited to see what more you have in store, and I hope to see you more in the future as well, because I definitely am all about connecting. And I see Latif also made it back. Latif, did you have anything else that you wanted to add before we do wrap this up? I do see Spatial is kind of acting a little crazy today, which I can't say is unusual for them because sometimes they do be tripping. But if not, then we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up for today. And again, just thank you for watching and for being here. Peace. Oh, and before...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to just say thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you so much for the information and coming through. Yeah,
oh, thank you
this was a great conversation.
Yeah,
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this was seriously good, Kyra, and like a very important discussion, and so like super honored to be able to hear all these gems. And thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, honor. Peace.
Thank you all so much.
Of course, you know it. And our next one, I forgot to mention our next one. You guys know we're doing this on a bi-weekly. Our next one will be on the 30th, and that week we'll actually be talking about music. Again, last podcast we talked a lot about intellectual property. We understood writers is very important, you know, protecting our writing, but music as well. The musicians and producers in the music industry are also doing a lot to fight for their rights with, again, all these tools coming out there. So on the 30th, we'll be back again, same time, to have another conversation. So we hope that you guys come kick it with us in the Roots and Rhythm Loft, and be on the lookout because Journey to Mo Life is coming to a screen near you. Peace, for real.